Okay, you're done.
That was just a very short performance piece. It could have been two things. You had to choose. A, that was the internal monologue of an 8th grade boy trying to ask a girl to dance. Or B, you deciding whether or not to reply to your sister's racist friend's comment on Facebook about how black people should know what to deal with when they see the cops. All right. A little while ago, I went into 8th grade in the middle school. I hadn't been in. I just go take my son. Like a pack of 8th grade girls walked by, and like my heart started racing, and like sweaty palms. It was like amazing. Like I don't know if they realized how much power they had. You know, it was like I was regressing back to being in 7th or 8th grade, and I started thinking about like just the pack of them was sort of terrifying. And like collective nouns, like a murder of crows, or I don't know what the other ones are, a tusk of elephants, those kinds of things. And I was thinking, like, what would the collective noun be for a group of 8th grade girls? Like, maybe like a snit of 8th grade girls. Anyway, something that kind of makes me mad sometimes is like, when I was a kid, like geek, nerd, dork, like those were very specific social categories that had very specific meanings. And like Geek Squad, which is out of like Best Buy or whatever, they're really fucking it up, because that should be Nerd Squad, not Geek Squad. Like, they've got the wrong thing. I mean, maybe this varies by region, but when I was growing up, like nerds were smart but had no social skills, and like geeks were not that smart and didn't have great social skills, but they had like some common thing they loved, like Dungeons and Dragons.
D20s.
Huh?
D20s.
Okay. And dorks were like not smart and didn't have any social skills either. They were like the loners, right? So like the last thing you want to be was a dork. So anyway, so I was thinking about this collective noun problem, and maybe people got some suggestions. I'm still trying to figure this out, but I think maybe it should be like a crotch of dorks, if there's a bunch of and then maybe like a module of geeks. That's sort of dragons. And then this one's really for the hyper-educated. Like nerds, I think it's like a nominalization. Anyway, so but that kind of makes me mad about the confusion of geeks and dorks and nerds. So I was kind of, this might be a regular thing for me, like things that make me mad, like for no good reason. Like one is nuts and like peanuts. Like I bought some almonds at the airport. It was a pack of almonds, and on the back it said this product may contain nuts. No fucking shit, If you buy that and you have a nut allergy, you probably deserve to die. I'm sorry if you have a nut allergy. But anyway, like peanuts and tree nuts aren't really the same thing. Like peanuts are like peas and lentils that grow in pods, and tree nuts like are a fruit off of a tree. To say you're like, I just think people are like, well, peanuts and almond nuts, like those must be the same things. They say nuts. It's like saying I'm allergic to cherry and chard because they both start with ch. Like it's like you're allergic to the sound of nut, not peanuts and tree nuts. So anyway, I wish people would straighten that out. Another thing that really irks me is street cleaners. Like, why does the street need to be cleaned? It goes by. There's one that goes by Lewisburg. It's got these rotors that go, and I go out and it looks no different to me at all. What did you do? Why are my tax dollars going to this? It's pulling some weeds out the front of my yard. I threw some like grass and stuff there, and then I came back the next day, and it was back on my little strip of grass. Oh, is that too much for the street cleaner to handle? Like I was trying to imagine what happened. Like the street cleaner guy's driving by, I hope he's not in the audience, stops and goes, God damn it! Somebody put some grass on the street. I got to get that off before I can clean the street. So he like stops the machine, gets out, puts the grass. Like, what if it wasn't in front of my yard? Like, what if the wind just blew some grass in? Has he got like a big machine to like throw the grass back up in the air? Because God forbid should the street not be clean before the street cleaner comes to clean the street. Anyway, before that, I got to travel recently. I went to Oregon, which is a beautiful place, and we went to a safari, which I know sounds weird, but it was one of these places that was kind of off beaten path, but like as we were driving up, it had these, there's like a name for these signs, and it was like each one is a word, like next stop, diner or whatever. And so they were doing this, but it was like, so close you'll think your lunch, period. Oh, that's exciting. The next was cafe open 1 to 4. I was like, who's the cafe for? Like they're kind of mixing up their marketing there. Are they marketing to me or the cheetahs? So we buy tickets, and it's really literally like a drive-through safari. Like you drive around in your car, and there's animals from Africa and all kinds of places. And when I give the lady the tickets, if you've been to like an amusement park and there's just like this, like she said it 1,000 times that day already, like the information. So she's like, thank you for your ticket, here's your map, have a nice time at the rhinoceros swerved into the road, get out of his way, and drive safely. I'm like, what was the rhinoceros part? That didn't sound so like routine. So we had a nice time, we left, and as we were leaving, there was this big place that was like taking advantage of where it was, I think. And kind of picture in your mind, it was kind of up on a hill, and it was decorated in what I like to call like nursery school animal iconography, you know, like cute looking animals and rainbows. And it was an eatery, a place to get food, and it said, Noah's Burgers. That's a really awful thing. Like, is that what happened to the unicorns? If I get a double patty, is that an extinction event? You know? Anyway, how am I doing?
You got a minute and a half.
Because I know I'm not doing well, I'm funny. Thank you for the kidding. Some friends of mine, I do this, and they were like what were you? I was like, it's just like I'm talking to you, but I'm on the stage, so it just sounds funnier. That's what I tell them. Yeah. So, I don't know how this will go over, but I've never been to a strip club, and thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm coming up later. And I just don't get it, because it's not because like I deeply respect women or anything. It's, I mean, I want sex, of course I do. Like who wouldn't? Why would I go to a strip club where someone's going to take off their clothes and not have sex with me? It's like being really ravenous and watching Julia Child cooking shows. Like it's not going to satisfy that urge. Or like if I went to CVS and picked up a chocolate bar and I really am lusting for chocolate, and I like lick the package and put it back and walk out. I just don't get the appeal. So I was walking down the street the other day, and I saw, you all have trucks on the side. They'll say like, I don't know, like Mississippi gateway to New Orleans or whatever, Louisiana gateway to the Gulf, things like, little things. But it was New Brunswick, which it's Canada? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm an ignorant American. I think it's a province in Canada, right? New Brunswick? And it said biggest highs in the world. It's like, well, sign me up. My next trip, is biggest highs. Like, who would want to see that? And I was thinking, like, what if places were really just honest about what they were? Like, eastern Colorado could be like, we're still Nebraska, Pennsylvania could be like more dying industrial towns than any other state, Or like we could go by towns, Milton could be like the best flood devastated downtown, Like Lewisburg, with its recent NIMBY, like I don't want public housing in my neighborhood, could be nicest town full of racist classist dicks.